You're thinking about moving to Australia as an international student. There are a few things that your visa agent probably won't tell you because they don't want to distract you from trying to get your money, trying to get you to Australia. There's a few things that you need to be aware of though. So I'm going to run you through 4 things that you need to know the visa agents probably won't tell you if you're looking to move to Australia to study. The first thing, and it's a very common question that I get asked, is how much do you get paid for working in Australia? And right now, the minimum wage in Australia is just above 24 Australian dollars an hour, which is a little over 1,200 rupees per hour. But the thing that the visa agents won't tell you is that you're not going to go over there and just get rich as an international student working part-time. Cost of living in Australia is also extremely high. So while your minimum wage is actually pretty high compared to countries like India, for example, which I'm sitting right now in the middle of Delhi, your cost of living is also going to be significantly higher. Visa agents and travel agents are usually pretty quick to let you know just how much money you can make and the earning potential, but they very often don't remind you that it's actually really expensive to live in a country like Australia. And so the point here I'm trying to make is don't expect to be saving a lot of money, especially as an international student moving to Australia. Remember, when you're working part-time in Australia, you can only work 24 hours a week, and so you're not going to be earning that much money. Honestly, you're probably going to be earning just enough to survive, pay your bills, and pay back some of your tuition. So while you will be earning at least 24 Australian dollars per hour, your cost of living is going to be high, and so you're not going to be saving that much. Keep that in mind and don't expect to be saving millions of dollars that you can send back home to your family. And that rolls into point number 2, which is getting a job. A lot of visa agents will tell you that getting a job is super easy. You'll get one when you arrive. It'll be no problem. You can start making money. And like we spoke about, that's $24 an hour and you're going to get rich. And many of them sell you this dream of being able to make a lot of money, even as an international student in Australia. This is simply not true. Honestly, this is completely false. Like we already discussed, the cost of living is high, but also it can be difficult for students to find a job. And this is actually one of the major pain points of students that speak to me or slide in my DMs. They just can't find a job, sometimes been there 2, 3, 4, 6 months in Australia and still haven't landed a job. So don't expect to arrive and just get a job straight away and start making all this money. It's just simply not the reality for 99% of people. A few things to keep in mind here is you can only get a job once you've started your education. So once university started, then you can get a job. You can only work 24 hours per week. And like we said, the minimum wage is just over $24 per hour. But if you want to find a job quickly, your best bet is to make a super clean, concise, beautiful resume and then go physically into some retail stores or hospitality stores and hand in your resume. You're going to get far more interest than applying for jobs online. This is going to be the quickest way for you to get a job if you just want to get a job to start making some money while you're in Australia. There's a few other ways to get jobs as well. You can apply online, of course, and often your university will have jobs available to students at that university that you can apply for as well, but these are typically in quite high demand. So really your best bet is to go physically in store, hand in a really clean resume, speak in a presentable, confident way, and hopefully you'll get a call to let you know that you've got an interview or perhaps that you just got a job. Now, the third thing that visa agents will typically not even mention is that Australia isn't necessarily as welcoming a community as India. In India, hospitality and maintaining a welcoming environment is at the core of the Indian culture. Whereas in Australia, it's a little bit different. If you're a foreigner coming into Australia, there's already so many foreigners everywhere in every major city in Australia that realistically, no one actually cares. No one cares that you're a foreigner. No one wants to look out for you or thinks you're different because you're actually going to blend in quite equally into the current society. And so what that means is it's not so welcoming as an Indian culture, for example, which really supports and welcomes guests to the city or to the country and helps you to integrate into your new living conditions. In Australia, realistically, you are going to be fending for yourself. You're going to have to solve a lot of your own problems. You're going to have to, at least initially, try and put yourself out there to make friends and make connections and network. A lot of that is going to fall on you as opposed to you being invited to events. So know that in advance because a lot of visa agents won't mention this to you and you're going to get there and expect people to be welcoming to you with open arms and simply not going to happen in most cases. In saying that, you will be able to make friends and build a community and build a social life. You just need to put your ego to the side, get a little bit uncomfortable, a little bit brave, a little bit outside your comfort zone, and go and speak to people and meet people and go to uni events and networking events. There are so many fantastic opportunities to meet so many different people that you can then get involved in and get to know. But is it going to be so easy when you first arrive? Absolutely not. It's going to be a bit of a challenge. And finally, and very importantly, visa agents will not tell you that a PR or postgraduate visas are not a guarantee in Australia. You are not guaranteed. The purpose of providing you a study visa is to allow you an opportunity to study in Australia, and the expectation by the Australian government is that you will be returning home to your home country. Do not expect that a PR is going to be guaranteed or work visas are going to be guaranteed upon completion of your studies in Australia. Of course, there are available routes to get all these things, to get work visas, to get PR. You can absolutely achieve all these things, but just do not think that it is guaranteed or it is a given. It is absolutely not. And you will have to achieve the PR or work visas by going down the correct routes in the appropriate way with the correct guidance. Those are 4 things that I get a lot of questions about that visa agents are typically a little bit cheeky about when they're trying to answer your questions. So be aware if you have any other questions to do with this, or you're not sure if your visa agent is telling you the full truth, hit me up. Instagram DMs are the best place, but if you enjoyed that video, make sure you smash the hell out of that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.